Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are actually going to be talking about a game that we played together called It Takes Two.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Like my wife said, we are talking about It Takes Two. This is a game that came out a little while ago, and I've been wanting to play it, but I've been waiting for her to come play with me, and she never wants to play games with me. But I finally... Is our daughter awake? Oh. Anyways, so I finally got her to play It Takes Two with me. And this is a game by EA, published by EA. And yeah, so we beat it. We're going to go over some things that we really liked about the game and some things that we didn't quite like about the game. And at the end, we'll give kind of both of our reviews and then give our final verdict with the two kind of average together, I guess, the best of the two. So you want to talk about some of the good things that you really liked about the game?
Sure. So, I guess to preface this game is about a couple who have grown apart and are planning on getting a divorce. Their daughter overhears them fighting and wanting to get a divorce, and she's very upset by this, and so she goes into their shed and is crying over these two dolls that she made that kind of look like her parents, that she kind of role plays their lives if they would be happier. And she has this therapy marriage book, and
Dr. Hakim.
yes, and while she's crying about her parents getting a divorce, it magically transforms the parents into her dolls. And so for the game, we are playing as the dolls.
Yeah, so It Takes Two. You have to play. It's a two-player only game. It's not something you can play by yourself. I guess you could technically play with a friend online, because it came with like a little friendship share code that you can play with somebody else that already owns the game. But the whole thing is teamwork, and you have to play with two people. So I thought that was really cool. It kind of goes into one of the things that we both really liked, is that almost every part of this game you have to do work as a team, whether it's unlocking the puzzles, figuring out how to get through the next door or get through the level. So we really liked that you had to it forces you to work as a team, because you can't get to the next part without both of you working together, which is kind of the whole point of the game, because they're trying to get two people that are wanting to get a divorce, that are separating, to actually finally come together and work together. So go ahead.
I was going to say, with that being said, throughout...
Your voice is totally going away.
I know, my voice is going away. Sorry, guys. Throughout the whole game, there are different challenges that you face. So the first one is in the shed, and you are fighting a vacuum.
Oh yeah, the vacuum was pretty fun, actually.
It takes you to a tree. It takes you in a snow globe. There's a bunch of different levels that you have to beat, and each one was really unique.
Yeah, what was your favorite level?
My favorite level...
Yeah, because there was the shed, then there was the treehouse, then there was the bedroom, the girl's bedroom, and then there was the cuckoo clock. What was the thing that they look through?
The kaleidoscope.
The kaleidoscope, that was like a space type level. Then there's a snow globe, and then the attic was the last one, I believe, right?
I think I like the attic. I mean, I was a little sad that there was more cutscenes towards the end, because you are getting to the end of the game. So, her singing wasn't really that big of a deal, I feel like. Does that make sense? No. I wasn't doing it.
Oh, you weren't doing... Oh, you weren't playing.
It's
just a cutscene, yeah.
Yeah. But I did like that.
So,
story.
Yeah, so I think my favorite... I forgot.
Garden.
I was literally about to say the garden. I was about to say either the treehouse or the garden were probably my favorite. But I think I liked it. I don't know, because sometimes the certain abilities that we got to, which we're going to talk to next, kind of changed how I liked the game, because like there's that one where we're in the the bedroom where you get to like have
the magic
the magic castle. I would probably say probably the bedroom. That one was probably the most fun, or the attic. But yeah, like we were saying, every level is totally different, and at every level you get different, I would say, special abilities, if you want to call them that. For instance, one level you're playing as, you both have different parts of magnets, and one pulls and one pushes. And then the next level, I was like a wizard that can like teleport, and then she was like a knight with a flaming sword. So like every level each of you have something different that does a different ability. Like you were saying at the end, what was her name? May?
Yeah.
Yeah, May has like a singing power. And then I had like a what do you call it? Like a symbol? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And I would throw like a Captain America shield. So like we really liked the special abilities. There was a few of them that I thought were okay, and I know there's a few that I'm sure my wife didn't like. Like a lot of the shooting ones that involved moving both joysticks, looking and moving at the same time, like where she had to shoot the matches. Remember when I had to shoot all the honey all over the wasps, and then you had to shoot them. So we both really liked the special abilities, and yeah, we already kind of talked about the story. You want to go to the next one?
Yeah. So like in each level, you had to work together, and so with that being said, you kind of had to figure out how things interacted with your special abilities and interacted there with each other. So like in one, like he said, he was a wizard, he could teleport. So we were kind of stuck at a dead end, and I was like,
oh, you're talking about like when that thing kept like running us over?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about before that though. Like we walked into that room, and it was just a closed off room, and we were like, okay, what do we do? And I, was hitting everything with the sword to see if there would something would appear, and it wasn't until like a little while later we realized, oh yeah, I can go through walls, and you jump through the wall and then pushed a button on the other side that
oh yeah,
let me go through, because I couldn't have gone through on my own. I had to use this.
I thought mine was like a dart, like a dash or something, not necessarily a teleport thing. Yeah.
So like each level had kind of puzzles like that where it's like you were kind of stuck and you had to use each other's special abilities to get to the next one. And I swear, so I was playing as May, I was the wife,
and I was Cody.
Yeah, and I swear that mine had the hardest parts. Like his would be shooting a nail into the wall, and I would be the one who has to swing across them to go hit the next button. I was always the one who had to swing, and
I think I just made my parts look easier because I know how to do it. Not that I knew how to do it, it's just that I played games for like ever, and so it was kind of like I know how to jump, dash. That's what we joke about, because there's a lot of scenes where parts where you had to like double jump and then dash to get to a platform, and she had the hardest time doing
I would either fall too short.
She can jump, dash now. She's officially a gamer.
Or I would go way over the platform.
Moving on to the next one. This is kind of we put it a little bit in both of them. Excuse me. But we both really liked the boss battles, and then she liked some of the boss battles and then really hated some of them. Like I want to say at least every level had one. I feel like some of them had two. But there's like the vacuum, and then there was
the queen bee wasp.
Oh yeah, the queen bee wasp. And then there's the toolbox. Oh yeah, that was part of the shed too, huh? So there's two bosses there. So there's lots of boss battles. They're all super fun. And just like we talked about at the very beginning, a lot of these boss battles you had to do as a team, where it was like, what was the one where it like put a saw down, and right as it launched the saw, I had to like shoot a nail into like the little hole so the saw would get stuck so that she could jump across and kind of smack it around. Or it was, what were some of the other ones?
Well, like with the wasps, he had to spray a honey
the
thing,
nectar,
and then
yeah.
I could shoot them, and it would like blow them up.
So yeah, it was really cool that we all had to work together to actually beat the boss. You want to talk about why you didn't quite like some of the boss battles?
Oh, well, I was gonna say one other thing I did like about the boss battles was that if I died, we didn't lose the boss battle immediately. He could still play until I could regenerate. It wasn't unless we both died at the same time that we'd have to start the boss battle over. So I like that, because it felt a little bit better, like I wasn't dying a million times, and it was all my fault that we would be losing, because you still got to keep playing. But the reason I didn't like the boss battles is because I am not a gamer. I don't have the coordination to look this way and then look this way and look up and look down.
And shoot
and
at
I
the
would
same
just
time.
start hitting buttons because I just get so
She
flustered.
button mashed quite a bit, where I could hear just all the buttons clicking.
I got flustered. It gives me anxiety. I was like, I'm trying my hardest, but yet I'm dying and I can't see what's going on, and I messed up the camera angle.
I can't backpack the team because it requires 2 people to do their job, so Kayla wasn't pulling her weight.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. We actually beat the game, so she pulled her weight all the way through the end. And those were just some of the things that we really liked about the game. Of course, there's probably more that we're missing, but those were just like the big ones that really stood out to us. Now, there's a few things that that we didn't quite like. I wouldn't say that they were necessarily bad. We just were like, about them. Overall, the game was really good. But the first thing that we didn't quite like was we felt like the book, Dr. Hakim, was just so like, I don't know, you say like random.
He didn't fit the mood. Like, this is a
It's
story
like a Mexican love story book thing.
Yeah, like
He's kind of weird.
Novella situation, but it was, these two people who kind of don't like each other right now. They've grown apart, and then all of a sudden you have this, therapist come in who is 100% the opposite energy that these two people are giving. And so it kind of just seemed out of place. It wasn't like and how does that make you feel kind of therapist. It was
I mean, he was funny. He was funny at times, but I just felt like he was always kind of like, I don't know. He wasn't
just too much for me.
He wasn't. Yeah, that's what the word. He wasn't necessarily bad. It just seems like at times, like there's that moment like when they're sitting up in the snow globe, and it was like a redoing of like when he proposed, and then all of a sudden like it gets really, they're about to like kiss, and then he just pops out of nowhere and totally ruins the mood. So he just felt like too much at times. And then you want to go into the thing that was
so the
next
other
one?
thing is they've turned into these dolls, right? And we're playing as the dolls. And so their main goal for, I would say, probably majority of the time. It's probably
half the game, I think, at least the first half.
They're just trying to get back to their normal bodies.
Because it's the attic, right? Or not the attic, the bedroom. So it's at least 3 levels.
Yeah, so they were trying to get back to their bodies. They weren't really caring about, mending their relationship. They weren't caring about any of that stuff. They just wanted to get back to their bodies. And so some of the choices that they made, and we had no control over, as part of the like cutscenes and stuff, were a little bad parenting choices.
We had to kill an elephant, and it was so sad and evil. We're like, why are we ripping? We like ripped its leg off and ripped its ear off.
Yeah, they got the idea that because they turned into these dolls from their daughter's tears, that if they made her cry again, it would change the smell.
No, it just made her more sad.
Yeah.
And her elephant was like,
so
and
they
its lips
literally
ripped
off the leg and ear of their daughter's favorite
we
stuffed
were
animal.
like, this is so evil. What are they? Why are they doing?
And
are they dumb?
It made us do it. We had to do it.
Yeah, so that was just like the one thing. I mean, there's a few other like choices. I couldn't think of anything off that top, but I remember there's a few times where we were talking like, oh, why did they do that? But then like the whole elephant part where they're trying to make her cry was just so like evil. We're like, why would you think that making her destroying her favorite toy would make her have, I don't know. Anyways, the next thing that this was more me. I mean, she noticed it once I said it, but it seemed like the graphics and everything were really good. But then, like when it had like the parent character models for when they were like at the beginning and the end, they just looked a little weird. Like everything else looked good while they were dolls, and when they were going through the levels, everything looked really good. But then at the end, once they get back into their bodies, like just like the character models, I don't know, like they just looked a little off. They didn't look as good. The daughter
just
looked
didn't
fine.
seem like they put in a lot of time into the parents because you weren't playing.
Yeah,
as
you weren't
the
playing as the
human
parents.
I should
Just
say.
a cutscene, yeah. What, the very beginning cutscene, and then the very end. The rest of it is all... Because the daughter looked fine, right? I thought
Yeah.
the daughter looked fine. It was just like the two parents. They just looked... I don't know. They just looked weird. I can't see what our next one
That's
is.
it.
Oh, boss battles. Oh, yeah, and then we talked about You're Not a Gamer. So, I guess we're going to give this a rating out of 10. What would you give it?
I think it's a 7 out of 10. And it might have been higher if I was a gamer, but those things stress me out. I died way too many times for my own liking.
I mean, we still both really enjoy the game, but I can see where she's coming from because there's definitely times where we're literally waiting on her because she can't do the jump, dash. Or like the nail where it's dropping the nails or cutting the board in half and you're trying to run around. I personally thought this game was really fun. I think that if you probably were maybe more coordinated with your thumbs, that we probably would have just breezed through this game because there's times where like we're going through the level and I like get through all like the little platforms in like a second and we're waiting for her.
I just died
But
over.
I really enjoyed the game. Like we said, the special abilities, level design, story puzzles, and the bosses were all super fun. I would give this personally an 8 out of 10. And since we both kind of did it together and you know the theme of the game is working together and it takes two people, so we figured that we combined our reviews and give this game an overall 7.5 out of 10. Kind of meet in the middle. So
yeah, I definitely recommend it if I would say you and your spouse both like to play games. Then it would
I mean,
be
she doesn't
definitely
like to
one
play
tackle
games,
the-
but I begged her enough because I was like, hey, I want to review this game, but I can't do it by myself. The game won't let me.
Yes, so we played it. It was a good time.
Yeah, we both had a lot of fun. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the video. Appreciate everyone that took the time to watch video, and special guest, my wife, coming onto the YouTube channel, and thanks to her for playing this game with me so that we can get this review to you guys. And yes,
Like and subscribe.
like and subscribe. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm glad that she's here, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.